Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon, and that there would be Tiggy, my son Nate's cat. Nate is with us for the month of May, which has been great, and so that also means that Tiggy here is with us as well. So you're going to see him wandering around in the back, and hopefully he isn't too distracting for you or for me. I almost didn't record this video. Today is Monday, May 18th, the night before Talk Tuesday video goes up because, well, it was a crazy weekend and work was a doozy today. So, yeah, almost didn't get this done, but I decided, you know what? I need to prioritize, one, what is important to me, and two, things that I enjoy. And so here I am prioritizing you and prioritizing this video. So let me give you a little heads up on what I've done, or a recap on what has been happening in my life over the past week. If you recall, in my last Talk Tuesday video, I was looking to create some kind of faux wallpaper feature for the back wall in my little office space / closet here. And well, thank you to those who gave some input and cast their votes for either the textured tan or the smoky sea glass color curtain. I actually installed, literally hung up both, and I did not like how they looked and felt. Both felt really, really dark, and in a space as small as my little closet is, which is 6 feet by 6 feet, I really need light and bright. However, I still wanted to dampen the sound. Bye-bye, Tiggy. I still wanted to dampen and improve the sound quality in here because, like, being in such a small space, I recognize that most people who are recording videos would be using something like sound foam or even moving blankets to try and dampen the sound waves and the echo. And I'd like to think that it's not that bad, but I also recognize that there's room for improvement. Now, I do know that my good old bed sheet that I have here doubled up, that I use as like a privacy screen almost, that helps some. But I also know that I'm talking directly to a camera, a computer monitor, and then just a wall. And so there's lots of sound that's bouncing back at me. So I knew I wanted to do something, but the two options I had did not look great in my opinion. So I had another idea, which morphed into yet another idea, which I tried two different things, and if you can see behind me, I think it worked out pretty well. Don't mind my kind of janky hemming job there. One, I don't own a sewing machine, so I literally had to cut and then sew all this by hand. But I think it turned out great, and it serves multiple purposes. Actually, 3 purposes. One, I like how it looks. It actually mimics a picture, right over here, that I love. And it's hard for you to see on camera, but it's my favorite color. It has a deckled edge, and it's just a picture on a pretty blue of a dandelion puff, right? But I like how this has embroidered flowers on it. But that's not all. I also read that the thick cotton woven shower curtains were great for absorbing sound and making a better sound buffer for small areas. And I thought, a waffle weave shower curtain, I can find that at the thrift store, and so I did. And I cut that underneath here. You can see that. Problem was, I didn't like how that looked. It's kind of ugly, just kind of plain. There was a lot of texture granted, but I didn't like how it looked. So I also found this shower curtain. So I literally cut both the waffle weave shower curtain and then this embroidered shower curtain down to the size that I needed and wanted, and then literally just hemmed it all by hand. But drum roll, please, because I didn't want to just have a curtain up for curtain's sake, right? There we have it. It literally just slides back and forth and hides what I'm referring to as my ideation board. And I wanted it covered because, one, it can create glare, as you can see there. But two, I wanted to keep my ideas private. Not just from you guys, but from prying eyes, even Jason, that I may not be ready to share yet, right? I might have ideas or just brain mapping or just random thoughts that are still percolating in my mind. And I wanted a safe place to put those up so where I could see them when I want to see them, but literally hide when I, one, didn't want them in plain view. Especially when I'm at work, too, because I do a lot of work meetings from this space, too. And I want to keep my ideas private, right? Have healthy boundaries between work and my own dreams and aspirations. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. It took me all weekend because, again, I tried lots of different things. But I feel like I landed on something that works great for me. This is a really, I don't know if you can see the real scale of it on the camera, but it's a 20-inch by 30-inch, so it's quite large, which I love. In fact, I love it so much, I bought another one to put right next to my side of the bed. That's another story. But I love this size, and I loved that it was framed in just white, so it looks a little classier. And it's magnetic. I don't like, ironically enough, I don't like using dry erase markers. Probably because it's not comfortable for me to write on a vertical surface. I much prefer writing pen on paper. But I like having the white background to just tape index cards up on or put my paper notes up on. And then, yeah, all I did here was mount a command hook so that I can literally just kind of tuck the curtain aside and keep it there when I don't want it in the way. And then when I'm all done, voila, you can see that I have mounted it using metal circular curtain rings with small little clips. And then I actually created a box pleat in the embroidered curtain that's on top of the waffle weave curtain. Each place that you see a clip, I actually stitched up a box pleat, real easy peasy. And then this curtain rod was literally $6.90. I had the curtain rings. I bought them on Amazon a while ago. I'll link to all this below. The only thing I didn't buy from Amazon is the curtains themselves. But the curtain rod was cheap, $6.99. I bought the little metal rings, curtain rings, a while ago, but I got those on Amazon too. And the way I actually hung it, the curtain rod itself, was great. It was super easy. First it was hard because I thought, I'll just use a tension rod. But this wall over here, you can see it's cut at an angle, which is kind of cool for perspective, but not great for installing a tension rod, obviously. So I thought, how am I going to do this? And then I thought, aha, I can use, I guess you call them C-hooks. You see them used for holding mugs, like on the underside of cabinets. And I bought a set of those that were coated in rubber, which I liked, so it would hold the curtain rod in place even better. Anyway, bought a little box of those, a set of those, and found the exact size diameter I needed to hold the curtain rod. So I literally just screwed these little C-hooks, I guess you'd call them, up into the wood shelf right up here, and then literally set the curtain rod inside there, and voila, there you have it. So I am pleased as punch with myself for initially turning what I thought was a complete failure. Even Jason gave his opinion, Nate gave me his opinion, and while they all appreciated why I wanted it for the sound dampening, Nate didn't really like it. He thought it felt too closed in, too tight. Jason liked the sea glass curtain, but I wasn't sold on it, and frankly, it's my space. I need to love it, and it just wasn't working for me. So I spent a couple hours thinking, do I give up this idea? And that's when I thought, wait a minute, why don't I create something that not only meets the need of sound dampening, but also helps me be even more creative? Because again, this area over here is my analog space, and in fact, this over here is a love every toddler toy. But I love it because I just flipped it on its side and I use it as a little caddy, and this little blue square with a circle cut in, it slides back and forth so I can tuck things away. And over here, this used to hold my index card caddies, and I have one right here that I'm going to put back, but I'm kind of redoing how I'm using my index cards because I emptied the very bottom drawer that I have right over here. So I have a whole drawer now devoted to my index cards. Why? Because I like the idea of them being tucked away and kept private. So I have this caddy right here that's going to go back into the wood organizer here, probably up here or down here, for easy access, and especially for like taking notes and such that I want to put on my bulletin board or my whiteboard. So yeah. Now the other thing I was going to share is it has been a little tough for me lately. I'm still struggling greatly. I have sclerosis of the bone in my, long story short, if you've watched my videos recently, I have been in braces for weeks now and no relief. And my doctor has actually recommended OT, occupational therapy, but my insurance isn't great and I certainly can't afford it and don't have time. So doctor did some x-rays and discovered that no, it's not psoriatic arthritis. It's not carpal tunnel. It is sclerosis of the bone in my left wrist, good times, chronic condition. And it is ulnar impingement syndrome in my right wrist. So 2 different problems, both just as painful, both chronic, good times. So that's been a little depressing. And I have been full force. I am not going to allow these conditions to steal away my dream or to dampen it. But it has certainly dampened my mood a little bit. So I think I shared in another video that I have purchased some different colored braces. So I have a pair of gray ones that you usually see me wearing on camera. I'm taking a break right now because I was writing all day for my day job. And so my hands have been in the braces. But I have a pretty blue pair that I use when I'm working on my writing, on my fiction book. And I have a pretty pink pair that I actually strap on before I go to bed at night. Just because it helps it feel less medicinal for me. Trying to make it a little fun and just different, right? But I decided, I've been inundated. If you are any kind of writer or even an aspiring writer, you likely are inundated with these ads too. Years ago, the free write came out, and now on top of the free write, there are other options. There is the BYOK, I think it's called, BYOK, which stands for Bring Your Keyboard. There is the Zero Writer. I can think of at least 5 of them off the top of my head. But there's tons of different what they call distraction-free writing tools. I had an AlphaSmart a couple years ago, which I actually modded out. I'll put a link to that video down below because that was actually a really fun project. But full disclosure, it didn't work for me. Why? Because it didn't have a backlit screen and it just didn't work. But I worked so hard on it, I actually sold it on eBay, and the buyer was just thrilled because the color, and not to toot my own horn, but I did a very careful, good job. It turned out great. So yeah, but I've been toying with having another option for writing. I would love to be able to sometimes write here in my analog space, simply because I'm able to really curate the mood here. I can get the lighting just so. This is my bright lighting for filming, or when I'm feeling kind of, I don't know, down in the dumps because of the weather outside. I'm in a closet, so I don't even see the weather, but I also live in the Pacific Northwest, so it's can be very gray and dreary, and that can wear on me, especially in the fall and the winter months. And so I have these bright LED lights. But when I want to be creative, or I want to calm down and really start to hopefully ideate and brainstorm and sometimes write, it's nice to have that space back here behind me. And the other great thing about my closet is I don't have to wear headphones. I can listen to whatever music I want as loudly as I want. And so it would be really, really nice to be able to set up shop back here behind me on this desk and write periodically. And also we go to visit Nate quite frequently. Now that he took a full-time position, we're going to be going to see him multiple times a year. And I would love to be able to take my writing, not just my planner, but I have a plot and planning planner now. I should do a video on that. But I would like to be able to physically type there and continue to work on my manuscript when we are out of the area. But you guys, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to drop on these fancy schmancy distraction-free, devices, as much as I'd like to. Because I'm not going to lie, it would be fun to have a new toy. And so I started thinking, okay, how can I meet that need for me? Because sometimes, I'm not going to lie, a new toy is fun, right? And that might be just the thing I need to breathe new life into my productivity, because from time to time, that's important to give me more motivation. And so I decided that, you know what, I have right over here, it is one of my favorite purchases ever. Not proud of it because I really didn't need it, but I got so excited at the deal. It is a Razer 60% 10 keyless Huntsman keyboard, mechanical keyboard with a clickety clack. I think it's a green switch. Anyway, it's a smaller Razer keyboard. Razer happens to be a gamer company, but I love their keyboards. I love the sound. I love the tactile feel. I love it, love it, love it. I don't even it has an RGB mode and lighting features. I don't use any of that. I just like how those mechanical switches feel. And so I appreciate the sensory experience it gives me. And while I have a full-size keyboard, you know what, let me lift it up and show you. Well, I have a full-size keyboard at my computer. Whoops, sorry guys, I'm moving you while I try and get the keyboard out. Apologies. Well, I have a full-size keyboard here, and these have custom keycaps. They used to be black. I changed them all to white. This is what it looks like upside down. And you know what? I'll leave links to these below. Obviously, the full-size Huntsman is easy to find on Amazon. But I got a compact white one, and I love it. And I think I paid like $50 for it. And I'd saved up. I have a little, maybe it's selfish, maybe it's not. I'm the only one working right now. And it's a lot of pressure. And so to keep myself going, I squirrel away a couple bucks here and there, and every so often I splurge. Can I splurge $500 or $800 or whatever it is for a free ride? Oh no. Do I want to? Not really. But when I found this refurbished / renewed Razer keyboard in my color and my size and the model that I like, the Huntsman, I got it. And so I thought, okay, how can I turn that into a fancy schmancy new tool for me that I could use to type over here or take on the road or use in bed if I want to. And so you know what I'm going to do? I don't need the distraction-free element. You know, I can be self-disciplined. I can also put my phone in do not disturb mode. Well, okay, backtracking a little bit. About 3-4 weeks ago, when I was really struggling with my wrists, before I actually saw my rheumatologist for my normal, I see her every 6 months. Before I found out exactly what the issues were with my wrists, I thought, you know, I need rest. I'm overworking myself, and I just need rest. This will go away. Well, I also dropped my phone several times. Oh, you guys. Now, I had taken such good care of my phone. I'd had it since I think 2019 or something. So the phone's been paid off for years, and I love it. And I hate switching phones because I hate getting everything set up the way I want it. And yes, I know you can transfer everything over, but it never fails. There's always something that doesn't transfer over the way it's supposed to, so it takes time to get me back up to speed. And yeah, anyway, I was so bummed because my phone kept going to the black screen of death. And one day, I mean, Jason had been putting it in the freezer. He'd been doing that tapping. He'd been doing the massaging of the screen. We took it to Batteries Plus, and they said, well, we could crack it open. We think it's a problem with the screen. We might be able to fix it, but no guarantee. I took it to T-Mobile. They said, yeah, no, we can't fix it, yada, yada. I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, eventually, long story short, I had to get a new phone, you guys. I had to. Oh, talk about depressing. But I got online, got on Amazon, and I was able to find my exact phone, refurbished, excellent condition. I think it was like $180. So, I hated that. But I bit the bullet, and I did it, and I bought it. And I'm back up to speed. And the good news is, I like this phone, this version. It's pretty white. When we got them, they were the latest and greatest thing, but we were also getting it through a deal through T-Mobile because Sprint had just become T-Mobile. It was just acquired by T-Mobile. Anyway, long story short, I didn't have a choice of colors. I just took the free phone that I could get. But now I thought, okay, fine. If I've got to buy a new phone, I'm going to see if I can find the exact same phone because I love it and I'm used to it. And I was able to find one in white, which just made me so happy. So I have a Galaxy S, I think it's a 21. Yeah, I think that's what I have. Anyway, so I just spent oh my goodness. No, I spent $180 on a refurbished phone on Amazon. And so far, my experience has been great. I've been using it for about a month, maybe 2 months now, and I'm loving it. And so when I found out that my wrist issues are not going to go away, they're chronic, often, degenerative, which means they can likely get worse over time. I recognize that, okay, I need to find ways to help myself work better, and that includes physically with the braces, but also emotionally too. I need to value the tools that I use to work, and I want to use tools that make me happy. Because I won't always feel physically good when I sit down to work, whether it's my day job or my own personal goals. But I also recognize I can't afford a free write. I can't afford a zero writer. I can't afford bring your own keyboard. By the way, if I was going to buy one, it would probably be a zero writer or a bring your own keyboard. The bring your own keyboard I love because you could just use whatever keyboard you want. I like that. But I also don't like that a lot of these things require proprietary software. So I got to thinking, and I discovered that my little compact Razer Huntsman here, yeah, that has a removable USB-C cable. I thought, I already have MS Office. I've got the whole Office suite. I already paid for that. Can I install that on my phone? Yep, absolutely. Could I attach my phone to that there little keyboard? You betcha I can. So I bought a set of 2 right angle USB-C little adapters that will plug a smaller, I think I got an 18-inch. What did I get? Yeah, an 18-inch USB-C to USB-C cable. So I'm going to use this little cable to plug into my keyboard, and then plug in one end into one of the adapters, and then plug that into my phone. And guess what? If I want to, I can turn on the Do Not Disturb function on my phone, and lo and behold, for the price of, I think I spent $18 total. This was $6. I think this was $7 or $8 plus tax. I made myself my own little, I guess, bring your own keyboard, because that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to actually hook up my keyboard there to my phone, and then that way if I hit the road and go on a trip, I've always got my phone with me. All I got to remember is the cable, the adapter, and the tiny little keyboard itself that just throws in my work bag. Yeah, I love, if you're a writer, I encourage you, go over to your local Best Buy. They've always got them out. Give it a feel, give it a whirl, and see, you might like it too. I'll also leave links to I'll leave links to these below too in case you're curious. I'll also leave a link to my phone and both my full-size Razer Huntsman and the compact one. But if I can find some refurbished or some renewed products, I'll leave those down below as well, because like I said, I've had nothing but positive experiences with that. And the thing I do like about that is because Amazon backs it. Should something go wrong, I think it's either in 30 or 90 days, you don't have to pay for the extra, protection plan, no, Amazon will back it. And truth be told, I did have one experience with another. It was a full-size Huntsman that I bought refurbished, and it was jacked up. The keys were sticking, and it was sold by another seller through Amazon. They were a verified or whatever Amazon reseller. And I was able to return it for a full refund, no problem. That was the only time I've had a problem with that. But I've since bought 2 refurbished keyboards. I've bought my refurbished phone. And yeah, it's been a great experience and a way for me to save a little money. But get some new tech toys. 1, that I wanted. And 2, that I need my phone. So yeah, you can see that Tiggy's gone. He probably got tired of hearing me talk. And I hope you haven't gotten too tired of hearing me talk. I have a whole basket of pens that some of you have been suggesting and asking me to review. So I'm excited to do that. And so in the next coming weeks, you're going to be seeing a lot of new pen review videos. You guys, I'm dying because I am forcing myself not to open any of these pens until I'm ready to review them. And so that, if there's no more incentive than that for me to actually get these videos filmed, because I want to open and play with the new pens. And I'm just as curious to find out what I think of them as you are, those of you who have suggested them to me. So thank you for that. I'm going to end this video here, and I hope if you've watched to the end of this video, you've enjoyed hearing some of my stories and my adventures this week. And I hope that you have, excuse me, I hope that you have a great rest of your week to come. Until the next video, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.